The following is recorded on February the 29th, 1964.
Natural gas system in Austell take you now to Alexander Memorial Coliseum for the championship game between Osborne and South Cobb in the state AAA tournament.
Good evening, basketball fans. This is Jimmy Bridges, along with Jim Wesley and Dick Yarbrough, speaking to you from the basketball headquarters of the state of Georgia tonight, the Boys State AAA Basketball Tournament at Alexander Memorial Coliseum in Atlanta, where we're all set to bring you the championship game in this great tournament, matching the champions and the runners-up in Region 5 AAA, the Osborne Cardinals and the South Cobb Eagles. We'll preview the game and give you the starting lineups in 1 minute.
The management of the Austell natural gas system would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for the privilege of bringing this portion of these state AAA basketball games to you. Natural gas has long been a woman's best friend, providing instant flame for cooking, clean, economical home heating, energy for clothes drying, air conditioners, and many other home uses. Now you're cooking with gas. It's an old expression, but all homemakers know the convenience and economy of gas. Instant flame heat for cooking, clean automatic energy for home heating, plus all the many other advantages in gas power for home and business. The Austell gas system, serving all of southwest Cobb and eastern Douglas County, reminds you to take advantage of their building service if you're planning to build a new home. They'll be glad to give you all the details on gas economy, convenience, and cleanliness. For more information, contact the Austell Natural Gas System, serving southwest Cobb and eastern Douglas County with dependable, economical gas energy.
Back at the Coliseum for the All-Cobb County Championship, you might call it. This game in the 43rd AAA basketball tournament. Neither Osborne nor South Cobb has been to the tournament before, and here they are, squaring away at each other for the state crown tonight. This is the second game tonight. In the consolation game just concluded, Cross Keys defeated Avondale 59-56. And this was a sort of a revenge matter, too, for Cross Keys because Avondale had upset the Indians in the 4 AAA finals. Cross Keys led at halftime, 34-31. Final score, Cross Keys 59, Avondale 56. Osborne, as you know, downed Avondale last night after trailing early in the game 65-59. South Cobb, playing perhaps its finest game, ripped the favored Cross Keys Indians 53-51. Someone asked Coach Wayne Dubose after the game, what about that upset? Coach Dubose replied, I don't figure it was an upset. Cross Keys just hadn't been playing a whole lot of real opposition. At any rate, the Eagles won the game, and here they are face-to-face with the Osborne Cardinals, who have beaten them 3 times this year already. In the first meeting of the 2 in the regular season, the Cards came out well ahead. The second game was close. And the third meeting in region play was a last-second affair, with Osborne sinking a field goal there in the final second. Here now are the starting lineups for the Osborne Cardinals. David Phillips, Fred Smith, Jim Van Ness, Dale Cannon, and Mike Nordholz. And for the South Cobb Eagles, Ken Brewer, Roger Dodgen, Frank Waters, Don Wicks, and Mike Bracewell. And there's some great ball players there. Those South Cobb fellows, some of those tall ones, when they stand up and flail their arms around, they look like buggy whips. We're about 1 minute and 25 seconds away from tip-off now, and we'll be back here in just a moment to pick up the introductions and some of the crowd reaction. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Whenever you're all tired out from a hard day's work, why bother with the drudgery of cooking your evening meal? Just pick up the phone and call Campbell's Restaurant at Hemlock 55525. Campbell's Restaurant will prepare your order and deliver it piping hot right to your car. There are complete seafood dinners, steaks, cold plates, and sandwiches. Scrumptious hamburgers and hot dogs. Whether you want a delicious meal or just a snack, the whole family will enjoy eating at Campbell's Restaurant. Go as you are and eat in your car. or dine inside in Campbell's restaurant. It's always fun to eat at Campbell's. There's no need to dress up. With Campbell's drive-in service, you can eat in your car and still get prompt service and good food. Remember, anytime you're not in the mood to bother with cooking, give the family a real treat. Drive out to Campbell's Restaurant on South Cobb Drive between Riches and Big Apple. Remember, that's Campbell's Restaurant on South Cobb Drive.
One interesting sidelight here at the Coliseum just a moment ago as we cut away. The officials, by the rules, of course, brought out the opposing coaches, Coach Dubose and Coach Paget, down here for an introduction. And both the coaches broke out in wide grins because, obviously, they knew each other. They had played each other 3 times prior to tonight. The introductions have not been made yet, but they're coming up. This is a vast crowd here. Traffic was tremendous coming in here. I don't believe there's a seat left in the house. There wasn't for the game earlier. And the crowd hasn't slackened a bit. If anything, it's grown a little bit. And if anything, there was just as much enthusiasm in that consolation game as there was in either of the 2 games we saw here last night. Cross Keys and Avondale were playing as if they'd never seen each other before, instead of meeting for the 3rd or 4th time. The Osborne Cardinals have just been introduced to the crowd. Great number of fans down here from Cobb County. We're delighted to have you in the audience, however. Well, the introductions are being made now for the South Cobb Eagles, and we're almost ready for action. We may have trouble hearing some of these names here. The crowd is a little louder than we are tonight. The crowd here seems to be a standoff, as you can perhaps tell by the reaction there over your radio. They're about evenly divided in support for Osborne and South Cobb. Well, there's the horn signaling the call for action, and here to call it for you is Jim Wesley.
Thank you, Jimmy Bridges. Hello, everybody, and get set for lots of basketball action as the Cardinals meet the South Cobb Eagles here at the Coliseum. This one for the championship. The State of Georgia championship rides on this contest. David Phillips and Don Wicks are set to jump at center court. And we're ready now for action as the official, after a round of handshakes, is ready to toss the ball in the air. There's the tip, and it's controlled by South Cobb's Mike Bracewell. Bracewell to Dodgen. Dodgen around to the top of the circle. Dribbling slowly. Passes out on the right side to Frank Waters. Waters back to Dodgen at the top of the circle. Dodgen now starts to dribble and stops. Feeds off to Frank Waters out on the right side, and Waters calls the attack. Now Waters comes around to the top of the circle. No score in the ball game. South Cobb apparently trying to play for a very good shot. Fed to Dodgen, way outside. Now Dodgen starts to drive into the keyhole, stops, feeds back out to Frank Waters. Waters guarded closely, feeds across to Dodgen. Dodgen out on the left side, hands off to Ken Brewer, coming around to the left of the lane, trying to work in under the basket, picked up closely, however, and a man-for-man defense put on by the Cardinals. Ball batted away, almost stolen. Brewer works under the basket, easy layup shot is no good, follow shot is no good, tip-in is no good, follow shot is good by Don Wicks. And South Cobb leads. South Cobb leads 2-0 as the Cardinals bring the ball down court. At the top of the circle is Dale Cannon. Cannon out on the right side to Phillips. A jumper by Phillips is no good. The rebound and follow shot by Nordholz is good. And the ball game is tied at 2-2. Ball brought down court by the Eagles. Ken Brewer way out on the outside. Guarded very closely. Feeds back outside to Dodgen. Dodgen now starts to drive for the basket. Almost loses the ball. Feeds back outside to Frank Waters. Waters holds on. Now works on the right side to Bracewell. Bracewell starts to drive in the lane, screens, feeds off to Waters. Waters can't shoot. Back to Dodgen, a screen. Dodgen can't shoot at the top of the circle. Dodgen comes around to the left of the lane. South Cobb playing for the good shot. Ken Brewer out on the left side. 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter, rather the first quarter. Pass to Mike Bracewell and back to Brewer. 2-2. Ball game all tied up. Brewer now fakes a drive for the basket, has a man right on him, gets up to the lane, and has to come back outside. Nordholz guarding him very closely. Bracewell out on the right side, screens and feeds off to Dodgen. Dodgen out in the right corner has to feed back to Brewer. And South Cobb is playing a very slow and deliberate ball game. It's all tied at 2-2 here in the first quarter. After 2.5 minutes of play. Frank Waters comes around to the top of the circle. Now Waters, a jump shot from out at the circle is good, a beauty. And it's 4-2, South Cobb by 2 as the Cardinals bring the ball down court. Mike Nordholz passes into the keyhole to Van Ness. Van Ness drives for a layup, no good. Rebound and a foul. This one is called on Frank Waters of South Cobb. At the free throw line will be Jim Van Ness, and he will be shooting 1. Van Ness bounces the ball, plenty, takes his time and is ready for the shot. And it's no good. Tip in is good by David Phillips. The ball game is tied at 4-4. Ball brought down court by Waters. Waters drives under the basket. Can't do anything. Feeds to Wicks under the basket, and Wicks shoots and scores. 6-4. South Cobb leads by 2. A seesaw battle. Ball taken out court by the Cardinals. Mike Nordholz driving for the basket. Layup shot is good, a beauty, as he saw an opening, and just a squeaker it was. It's tied up at 6-6. Ball brought down court by Dodgen at the top of the circle. Passes on the right side to Waters. Now Waters drives around to the right. Gets a screen, but it evaporates. He feeds back outside to Bracewell. Bracewell out to the right of the circle. Works to Dodgen. Dodgen out at the top of the circle. Holds the ball. A very slow, deliberate game being played by South Cobb. Dodgen starts for the basket, comes back outside as Bracewell breaks under the basket, but doesn't get a pass. Back outside to Waters at the top of the circle. Waters looking for somebody to work to at the top of the circle. Brewer trailing him. Waters still dribbling. Guarded by Fred Smith. Now, hands off to Ken Brewer. And on the crisscross, Brewer and Dodgen go past each other, but Brewer keeps the ball and works around to the right side. Ball batted away. Stolen by the Cardinals. Nice defensive effort by Fred Smith. Ball taken down court by Mike Nordholz. Fred Smith out on the left side. A long jumper is off, no good. Rebound fought for and taken by Osborne. Follow shot by Van Ness is no good. Rebound tipped around at South Cobb's ball. Ball brought back by Frank Waters. Still tied at 6-6, 3:34 to go in the quarter. Jump shot from the keyhole is no good. And we have a foul on Fred Smith of Osborne. So at the free throw line will be Frank Waters. And he will be shooting 2, I believe. 3:31 to go. And timeout has been called by Osborne. So there's timeout in the court, 3:31 to go in the first quarter. Score here at the Coliseum is all tied. South Cobb 6, Osborne 6. Back here at the Coliseum, Dick Yarber, it appears that the game is being played according to South Cobb's wishes.
Well, Jim, that's partially true, but I think Osborne is taking better advantages than Cross Keys did last night.
The first free throw is good by Frank Waters. The second free throw coming up, he was fouled in the act of shooting. There it is, and it's good. And 8-6 is the score now as the Cardinals take the ball down court. Cannon around to the right. Passes back to Nordholz at the top of the circle. Nordholz dribbles to the left, gets an opening, takes a jumper that's no good. The rebound, fought for, and a tie-up is called. We'll have a jump shot between Don Wicks and Fred Smith. Smith for Osborne, Wicks for South Cobb, jumping under the Cardinal basket. The tip, fought for, and finally the Cardinals get it as Fred Smith comes up with the ball. Feeds out on the right side to Van Ness. A jumper from out of the right corner is good, and it's tied again at 8-8. And we have a foul on the play, so the basket will not count. Or will it? It will count. And we'll go to the opposite end of the court for a free throw by South Cobb. This will be Frank Waters at the line, I believe, again. Right. Waters will be shooting 1 this time. So the ball game is tied. And it's now the tie is broken as Waters hits on his free throw, and it's 9-8 South Cobb over Osborne. We're in the first quarter still. 3 minutes to go in this period as Nordholz dribbles. And on the crisscross, hands off to Cannon. Feed under the basket is stolen by Frank Waters in the lane. Driving down court quickly to Ken Brewer. Brewer around to the right side. Can't do anything. Bottled up. Tries to come back outside, and we have a foul call. A blocking foul called on Dale Cannon of Osborne. At the free throw line will be Brewer. Ken Brewer shooting 1. 9-8. South Cobb leads by 1. Make it 2 as he hits on the free throw, and it's 10-8 South Cobb over Osborne. Ball brought down court by Nordos for the Cardinals. Wants to drive down the lane and loses the ball, and the Cardinals are making 4 mistakes tonight. Ball taken down court by Mike Bracewell. Bracewell at the top of the circle wants to drive. Jump shot is no good from the lane. Tip it is good! Don Wicks tips it up and in, and it's 12-8 as South Cobb goes out front, and timeout is called by the Cardinals. So there's timeout on the court. 2:24 to go in the first quarter, and the score is South Cobb 12, Osborne 8. Jim Wesley along with Jimmy Bridges and Dick Yarber at the Coliseum. The boys AAA championship for the state of Georgia at stake. South Cobb leads Osborne 12-8 as these two Cobb County teams battle. Cardinals ball. Dale Cannon on the right side to Smith and back to Cannon. Cannon at the top of the circle works around to the left side. Guarded too closely. Feeds it back to Nordos. Into the pivot it goes. Jump shot by Van Ness is no good. The rebound and follow shot from the lane is no good by Phillips. The rebound is by South Cobb. Fast break. Fake by Bracewell, and then he stops suddenly. And South Cobb slows it down again. Frank Waters with the ball out at the top of the circle. 12-8. South Cobb leads by 4. They'll be in no hurry. Waters wants to pass and does finally to Wicks. To Brewer at the top of the circle. Brewer wants to drive down the lane. Ball batted away and almost stolen, but it's recovered by Waters. Waters, a jumper from the top of the circle is good. A beauty. It's 14-8. South Cobb by 6. Minute 25 to go in the first quarter. Driving for a layup shot is Fred Smith. He scores. It counts. It does not count. There was a foul on the play. An offensive foul on Fred Smith, and the ball goes out of bounds for South Cobb. 14-8 the score remains. Eagles with the ball. Waters, bounce pass off to Dodgen at the top of the circle. Dodgen feeds off on the right side to Bracewell. Bracewell back to Waters to the right of the circle. A minute to go in the first quarter. South Cobb is led for the past few moments. Don Wicks in the lane. Comes back outside under the basket. Easy layup shot is partially blocked by Dodgen, and he rebounds his own shot. Feeds back outside at the top of the circle to Brewer. South Cobb retains the ball and the lead. They lead by 6, 14-8. Out at the right corner is Bracewell. Holds the ball over his head. Wants to feed to somebody. Finally works to Waters. Waters screens. Comes back around, however. Behind his player screening. The ball is fed to Wicks in the lane, and Wicks is tied up. We'll have a jump ball as Wicks went for the layup and was tied up on a nice defensive effort by Jim Van Ness, who played a terrific ball game last night. Van Ness at 6'2", jumping against Wicks at 6'7", but the tip is controlled by Osborne. David Phillips takes the ball down court for the Cardinals and throws it away as they try for the fast break. Ball out of bounds for South Cobb. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 14-8. South Cobb leads by 6. This would be a night of sweet revenge for the Eagles if they can pick up the state championship. Roger Dodgen wants to drive. Can't do it. Feeds off instead to Bracewell out of the corner. Bracewell guarded closely. Jump shot is no good as the quarter comes to a close. And at the end of the first quarter of play here at the Coliseum, the score is South Cobb 14, Osborne 8.
Dependable economical gas energy.
South Cobb leads 14-8. What's going to happen?
Well, Jim, right now it's South Cobb's ball game. They have the lead. They have the rebounding power out there tonight. They're definitely out rebounding Osborne, and they also are controlling the ball, and this is very important. Osborne is now having to play South Cobb's kind of ball game, and this could be very important.
Jump ball at center court, tip controlled by South Cobb as the second quarter gets underway. Out in the right corner, quick jump shot is good, a beauty by Ken Brewer, and it's 16-8. Ball brought down court by Mike Nordholz for Osborne. Feeds out on the left side to Cannon. Jumper from out there is off the rim, no good. The rebound is by South Cobb. Taken by Dodgen. Down court by Frank Waters. Jump shot is no good. Rebound fought for. We have a foul on the play called on Osborne's David Phillips. At the free throw line will be Don Wicks for South Cobb, a substitution for the Cardinals as Dale Cannon goes out and Johnny Marshbanks comes in. Free throw is good by Wicks. It's 17-8. Marshbanks is taller, 6'6". They want him against this height of the South Cobb team, undoubtedly. The second free throw is no good. The rebound is for South Cobb. Taken by Brewer. Jump shot from Brewer out on the right side, no good. The rebound is by Marshbanks. Ball taken down court by Osborne. Mike Nordo's driving. Layup shot is good, a beauty. Rather by Fred Smith. Number 21, not 31. Smith scores to make it 17-10. Ball brought down court by South Cobb. They lead by 7. Frank Waters out at the top of the circle. Gets that ball, the chant from the Osborne fans. South Cobb, of course, able to play a very deliberate ball game, leading by 7. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Dodgen takes a pass out in the left corner and comes around to the top of the circle. Very, very deliberate, slow floor game being played by South Cobb. Dodgen continues to dribble. He's a beautiful dribbler, one of the finest ball handlers in the tournament. Certainly should make the all-tournament team. Dodgen continues to dribble. Van Ness trying for a steal, almost fouls him. But Dodgen holds on to the ball, now passes off to Waters. Frank Waters at the top of the circle, calls the play. Waters starts to drive, then stops. The top of the circle, now moves to the right. Feeds off on the left side to Dodgen, wide open. Dodgen takes a long one-hander that's off the rim, no good. And the rebound is taken by Marshbanks. Fast break by the Cardinals, and then they slow it down. Out in the right corner, Van Ness feeds under the basket and throws the ball away as he intended the pass for Marshbanks. Ball out of bounds for South Cobb. 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the second quarter, and still it's 17-10, South Cobb by 7. As the Eagles bring the ball down court, Brewer dribbling around to the right side, and on the weave gives off to Frank Waters. Waters comes around to the top of the circle. Still dribbling. Guarded very closely by Fred Smith. Now, gets a screen, dribbles out to the right side, feeds in the lane instead to Wicks, and on a steal attempt, David Phillips is called on a foul for Osborne. So the Cardinals are doing the only thing they can do. Let's try to get the ball in this stall game played by South Cobb. That's the third foul on Phillips. He's going out of the ball game. And Dale Cannon is coming back in. We have Wicks at the free throw line, and he'll be shooting the 1-1. The first is good, so they'll get a bonus. It's 18-10, 5:40 to go here in the second quarter. South Cobb out front by 8 after a big victory last night over Cross Keys. Second free throw is no good. Rebound tipped around. The Cardinals get a 2-on-1 fast break. 3-on-1. Fed under the basket to Cannon. Layup shot is no good. There's a foul. This one on Don Wicks blocking the shot. As the ball was fed off to Nordos out to the left of the lane. Nordos' shot was no good. He was fouled in the act of shooting. And that is the first foul on Wicks. Nordos will be shooting two as he was fouled in the act of shooting. The first is good. Around the rim and in. And it's 18-11. 5:33 to go in this quarter. Nordos with his second free throw coming up. And this one's good. 18-12. Full court press put on by Osborne now. As Ken Brewer brings the ball down court. Passes off to Dodgen. Dodgen calls the play, holds one finger high over his head. Feeds off to Frank Waters out on the left side. Waters takes a break for the basket. Feeds off. Finally to Dodgen. Back on the left side to Brewer. South Cobb still working for the good shot. 18-12. The Eagles lead. Ball fed to Frank Waters out on the left side by Dodgen. Waters comes around to the top of the circle. Starts to dribble to the right. Now sees an opening. Drives. Jump shot is no good. Tip in is no good. Tip in is good by Don Wicks in the lane. 20-12. And Wicks now has had 2 assists that we've counted. Dale Cannon takes the ball down court. Jump shot quickly from the top of the circle is good by Cannon for Osborne, and it's 20-14. South Cobb bringing the ball down court. Frank Waters across the timeline to Dodgen out of the left boundary line. Dodgen around to the top of the circle. Dribbles around to the right of the circle and stops, but continues to dribble. get that ball. Continues to be the chant from the Osborne fans down below. Bracewell takes a feed, and under the basket, Don Wicks' easy layup is no good. There's a foul on the play as Van Ness, blocking the shot, fouls Don Wicks. So Wicks will go to the free throw line, or is it Mike Bracewell? It's Wicks.
Jim, this is very vital. Wicks is playing the most aggressive ball game we've seen him play in this tournament and is drawing a lot of fouls along with a lot of rebounds and a lot of points.
This could be a big factor in the ball game for Osborne. 2 shots for Wicks. The first is good. 21-14. Wicks waiting for his second free throw. And it's around and off, no good. The rebound is fought for and lost. Cannon had it and lost it. South Cobb gets it back. Waters to Brewer. Brewer out of the top of the circle. And this was just a mistake and nothing more. Ken Brewer feeds to Bracewell. Bracewell can't shoot. And we have a 3-second violation on Brewer as his foot was just in the lane. Rather on Mike Bracewell. So the ball goes out of bounds for Osborne. Taken down court by the Cardinals. 21-14. They trail. Dale Cannon wants to drive. Feeds back instead to Nordos as he's bottled up. Nordos at the top of the circle. Guarded closely by Dodgen. Feeds back out to Cannon at the top of the circle. Cannon, a jumper from the free throw line, is around and off. No good. The rebound is taken by Don Wicks. And he passes to Bracewell to take the ball down court for South Cobb. Bracewell feeds back to Dodgen. Way outside. And we have another 3-second violation. Or not. It's an offensive foul call. The foul is on Bracewell, and the ball goes out of bounds for the Cardinals. 21-14. Dale Cannon takes the ball down court and loses it to Waters. Waters drives. Layup shot is no good. And there's a foul on the play. Going for the rebound, Roger Dodgen is called on a foul. Dale Cannon will go to the free throw line for the Cardinals, and South Cobb is called timeout. So there's timeout on the court, 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the second quarter. Score here at the Coliseum is South Cobb 21, Osborne 14. Well, here at the Coliseum, a capacity crowd, a beyond capacity, standing room only, and Dick, I think they told you they'd turn away about 1,000 tonight, right?
Right, Jim, and believe it or not, this was at 5 minutes till 7, and this was before the first ball game, so you can see what sort of crowd we have here tonight. It's jam-packed. I never thought I'd see the day the AAA tournament was too big for the Alexander Coliseum.
Well, this day has arrived. Mike Nordos at the free throw line for Osborne, shooting 1, and it's good. 21-15. South Cobb leads, cut to 6. Eagles with the ball. Waters way outside at the timeline. Just lazing along. Guarded by Fred Smith. Continues to dribble. Can't get over the way that Waters seems to have a rhythm about his dribble. It's a fascinating thing to watch. Almost a dance that he does, swinging his arm, and the crowd picks up the rhythm. Smith and Waters just kind of doing a little variation on the twist. A twist on the twist, you might say. Mike Bracewell at the top of the circle. Then to Dodgen coming around to the top of the circle. Very slow game. Dale Cannon guarding Bracewell. A man-for-man defense by Osborne. Dodgen continues to dribble. And the boos you hear are from Osborne fans who want to see South Cobb do something besides stall. And the South Cobb fans come up with a big applause to let their boys know that they're behind them in this tactic. Now the ball is passed to Waters. 21-15, South Cobb leads. Very adept at drawing fouls, these boys. Very fine ball handlers. Ball almost stolen. Nordos even went to the court trying to steal. A jump shot under the basket by Bracewell is no good, and we have a foul on Van Ness trying to block the shot. So the South Cobb boys work the ball under the basket for the easy shot, and Van Ness fouls. 2 shots. That's 2 fouls on Van Ness. 2 shots coming up by Mike Bracewell. First is good. 22-15. Campbell's Restaurant in Smyrna and the Austell Natural Gas System of Austell bringing you the festivities tonight. Second free throw is good. 23-15. Ball taken down court by Osborne. Nordos to the left of the circle. Passes on the left side to Dale Cannon. Cannon around to the right side. A pass to Phillips. Jump shot by Phillips is no good. Rebound results in a tie-up. We'll have a jump ball under the Osborne basket. Don Wicks will be jumping for South Cobb against Jim Van Ness of Osborne. There's the jump ball, and it's controlled by the Cardinals. Phillips out in the right corner. Feeds off to Cannon. Then in the lane to Van Ness. Van Ness outside. Jumper from the line is no good. Rebound by Van Ness. Comes back into the lane. Jump shot is good. And it's 23-17. Minute and a half to go in the first half. South Cobb leads 23-17. They've held a pretty comfortable 6-point lead throughout most of the second quarter. At the top of the circle, Frank Waters. Dribbling around to the right. Now comes back to the left. Waters at the top of the circle. Waiting for the play to develop. Eagles wait for the good shot. Then if they miss the shot, they usually draw a foul. Dale Cannon guarding Dodgen now. Dodgen at the top of the circle. Dodgen comes around to the left side. Feeds off to Don Wicks, and Wicks comes out. Wicks feeds off to Brewer out on the left side. Brewer guarded by Nordholz. Then the ball rolled back outside to Frank Waters. Waters starts to drive. Jump shot is blocked beautifully, but it's tipped right into the hands of Frank Waters by Fred Smith. And now the ball goes out of bounds, kicked out by Osborne, so it'll be South Cobb's ball thrown in from the end zone under their own basket. Worked into the corner easily to Frank Waters. And traveling is called on Waters as his pivot foot slips. 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. South Cobb 23, Osborne 17. Dale Cannon takes the ball down court. Cannon around to the left of the lane. Feeds to Phillips. Back to Cannon. Then to Nordholz. Driving to the free throw line. Can't shoot. Pass to the top of the circle to Van Ness. Jump shot is no good. Tip in is good by Jim Van Ness. 23-19 with 15 seconds to go. Time running out. South Cobb leads by 4. Jump shot from way out in the corner is no good. Rebound fought for out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals' ball with 6 seconds to go, and they could pick up more points to go out at halftime a little closer. Cannon out to throw it into Nordholz. Passes way down court to Phillips. David Phillips, a jumper from out on the right side is no good. The rebound is by South Cobb as the quarter comes to a close. And at the end of the second quarter of play, here at the Alexander Memorial Coliseum, the score is South Cobb 23, Osborne 19.
WBIE FM Marietta, 9 o'clock.
Back here at the Coliseum, 23-19. South Cobb over Osborne with halftime seeing no let-up by either team. The complete Cardinal team is out on the floor taking some shots here at halftime to keep that basket range in mind. And for South Cobb, the subs are taking shots. And down on the bench, meanwhile, the regulars are having a conference with Coach Wayne Dubose. Jimmy Bridges has made his way down onto the court. And with a little help from the short wave here, Jimmy is standing by to talk with Charlie Roberts and perhaps another guest. So, Jimmy, down to the floor and to you.
All right, Jim, here we are down here with Jesse Osborne, the sports editor of the United Constitution, as you good folks know. Charlie Roberts over here banging on his typewriter. We'll get him in for a word in a second. But, Jesse, what do you think of this game up to now? Tell the folks out there in Cobb County land.
Well, we've had just about what we anticipated. One tremendous ball game. I didn't get to see any of the other 4 games, but they tell me that the last 3 in particular were just about like this one, that anybody could win it right up to the last shot. This first half here, Don Wicks of South Cobb has really took over that board and also scored 11 points to put South Cobb out front here 23-19. But in watching this Osborne team thus far, it was good to imagine that they wouldn't feel at home in this tournament unless they were behind at the half. The last 2 games they were behind 7 points at halftime and come on to win. I've been very impressed with both of these ball clubs. In fact, it's amazing that they would both come from one county. You don't see one like this often, much less 2 from the same area. It's a great tribute to the coaches and the boys there, Coach Wayne DuBose and Jim Fedges. They really put on a ball game out here tonight. Of course, everybody in this tournament is, and I've talked to all the college scouts and everybody else, very impressed with Mike Nordholz, I believe that's what you're announced. He's a tremendous ball player. He's terrific on defense and he'll really shoot you right out of the barn. It's just been quite a show here, and like the last 3 of these games, I think it can go either way right down to the last basket. I'd sure hate to try to pick a winner here.
Well, we wouldn't ask you to, Jesse, because you just don't know what'll happen in one of these tournaments. Let's ask Charlie, and I got a question for him, Jesse. Charlie Roberts here. The dean of the sports writers, I believe that's the way they call it, isn't it, Charlie Roberts of the Atlanta Constitution?
Edmund Fulton hung that on me a few years ago, I think. Just kept it up.
Well, he did a good job. What I want to ask you is if you've ever seen a team and all you're traveling around and looking at ball clubs that handle themselves like these South Cobb boys do. It's sort of a hurry up to stall type play.
Well, yes, that's something they took to, I believe, in late season, too, because they found it successful in a key game or two. Actually, we used to think of them as a running team, a team that could really move, and they can. But this is something that Frank Dubose, the coach, has Wayne Dubose, I guess, picked up from Coach Lowe up at South Carolina. He gives them nicks from the sideline, that sort of thing. It's been very effective for them. And change of pace is just called, and it is very effective. It's worked just fine for them. And of course, they have good height, good rebounding, and good shooters and good ball handlers. They're just fine ball players.
It almost makes Joe O'Malley a prophet. I believe it was he who said that South Cobb probably had the best material in the tournament.
Yes, in fact, in talking to several of the coaches, including him and also Roger Johnny Cater and some of the others, Pat Stevens out of Druid Hill, they figured that South Cobb and Osborne had the best material in the tournament. In fact, some of them say Osborne, some say South Cobb. We had them both here tonight, so I guess they knew what they were talking about.
But it certainly would be a mistake to write either of them off at this time, would you say?
Yes, it would. Osborne's been behind 3 times now, 3 nights. And this is not at all like the final of the 5 AAA tournament when these same 2 teams played, because Osborne went into a 19-point lead that night, and South Cobb came from behind and caught them one. So Osborne has a chance to retaliate here tonight.
Great. Well, it's a fine tournament. This is a wonderful game, a wonderful wind-up to it, and all you folks here at the Atlanta Constitution, Jesse Aldo, sports editor, and Charlie Roberts, are proud of this tournament, and they're very proud of to be sponsoring it here, the Constitution-sponsored event.
You know, it's an amazing thing. Almost 30,000 people have turned out for this thing. Since it started last Tuesday, it's record attendance, and of course they had turnaway crowds the last 2 nights. It's fantastic.
You're exactly right, and we congratulate you again. Thank you, gentlemen. Now back to you, Jim.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you very much for securing those halftime guests. We enjoyed hearing from them. And now this would be a good opportunity for us to pause briefly for station identification. So let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
WBIE-FM 101.5 megacycles, Marietta, Georgia.
Well, back here at Alexander Memorial Coliseum, we are having a great night of basketball, and at halftime, South Cobb leads Osborne 23-19. And Dick Yarber, you're our basketball expert, and we'll just put you on the spot and ask you if you are surprised or not surprised.
Well, Jim, I'm a little surprised, but not too surprised. How's that for being a politician?
That's a real fine job of fence riding.
Actually, I'm a little surprised that Osborne is not more in the ball game than they are. However, South Cobb is playing pretty much the same type ball game they played last night, in the fact that they are controlling the ball and doing a pretty good job of it. They were able to pretty well control the ball throughout a 1-point lead last night, and have managed to do pretty much the same thing tonight against Osborne with a lead of 7 points. So this has really put the pressure on Osborne. We might go over the scoring briefly, Jim. See how it's run here in the first half. Let me get my book ready here. First for Osborne. The high man so far is Mike Nordholtz, and this is no surprise based on the way he's been playing so far. Mike has 3 field goals and is 3 for 3 from the free throw line, has a perfect average. Mike has no personal fouls on him, by the way, and this is a big factor in this ball game. Dale Cannon has 2 points on 1 field goal. Jim Van Ness has 2 field goals for 4 points and has played a very fine game rebounding-wise and defensively as he has throughout this tournament. Fred Smith has 2 points on 1 field goal, and David Phillips has 2 points on 1 field goal. David Phillips has 3 personals on him, Fred Smith 2, and Jim Van Ness 2, so Phillips actually is sort of borderline at this point. But you can see what a fine job that South Cobb has done on Osborne in holding 3 of the starters to only 2 points apiece. The big man for South Cobb is Don Wicks, who has 11 points and has done a fantastic job of rebounding and ball hawking out there as well as shooting. Frank Waters has 8 points, Ken Brewer has 2, and Mike Bracewell has 2. Everybody except Brewer has one personal on them, so there's no foul problem from here. And, Jim, if I may make a fast prediction, I know we're getting ready for the second half. Right now, South Cobb is definitely in the driver's seat, and all of the pressure from here on out, it looks like it's going to be on Osborne, because South Cobb would not hesitate to run this stall with even a 1-point lead, and they have 4 points to toy with, and they could run out a ball game as it stands from here. So it looks good for South Cobb, and Osborne is going to have to really hustle to get back in this ball game.
Okay, Dick Yarber, thank you for that analysis. And as you mentioned, it's almost time for the second half. We'll be back from the Coliseum. Meanwhile, we'll remind you the score: South Cobb 23, Osborne 19. Well, back here at Alexander Coliseum, the buzzer is sounded to indicate the start of the second half of the ball game. At the end of the ball game, there will be trophy presentations to the winning team and each of the other teams playing in the finals tonight, along with those who played in the consolation game. In earlier games tonight, Cross Keys defeated Avondale for third place honors 59-56. At halftime, Cross Keys led Avondale 34-31, so they won it going away. Now the teams take the court, and we're ready for action as Don Wicks and David Phillips will be jumping at center court to start the third quarter. Tip is controlled by Osborne. Van Ness with the ball, driving for the basket. Layup shot is good. A beautiful effort by Van Ness. 23-21. South Cobb brings the ball down court. Frank Waters dribbling around to the right side. Moving from our left to our right as this quarter gets underway. Out to Bracewell at the top of the circle. Bracewell out to Dodgen on the left side. Dodgen starts to drive for the basket. Stops in the circle. Feeds way back out to Bracewell, and on the left side it goes to Frank Waters. Waters now. Jump shot from the circle is no good. The rebound is by Osborne. Van Ness gets it off the board and passes off to Cannon to take the ball down court. Cannon to Nordholtz. Nordholtz in the left corner. Dribbles around to the right side. 23-21. Osborne has tightened it up to a 2-point deficit now. Nordholtz, a jumper from the left, is good, and it's tied up again at 23-23. Third quarter just underway here at the Coliseum. Ball taken down court by South Cobb. Dodgen at the top of the circle. Fakes a drive one way, goes another, then stops, feeds back to Mike Bracewell. Bracewell at the top of the circle to Dodgen. Dodgen to Waters. Waters out to Dodgen on the left side. Dodgen drives down the lane. Layup shot is no good. Tip in is good by Don Wicks. And I think that will be the third tip in that Wicks has scored tonight. 25-23. South Cobb leads. Jump shot from the line is in and out by Nordholtz. Rebound and follow shot by Van Ness is no good. He gets his own rebound, feeds back outside to Smith. Jumper by Smith is in and out. The rebound fought for him. A follow shot by Osborne is no good. The rebound by Osborne results in a tie-up. We'll have Don Wicks jumping against David Phillips. Wicks so far has 13 points. Timeout call by South Cobb. So there's time out on the court, 6:17 remaining in the third quarter. The score is South Cobb 25, Osborne 23. Well, we have a jump ball coming up now between David Phillips and Don Wicks under the Cardinal basket. Tip is controlled by Osborne. Dale Cannon comes down with the ball. Jump shot by Dale out on the right side is around and out. The rebound is by South Cobb's Bracewell. Fast break is on. The ball almost lost, but Dodgen holds on to it, handling the ball very well. Dodgen feeds across the lane, and the pass is intercepted by Nordholtz. Nordholtz on the fast break. Layup is good. And it's 25-25 on Nordholtz steal and beautiful drive. Ball brought down court by South Cobb. Driving around to the right side, Frank Waters. Bottled up, comes into the right corner. Holds the ball, passes across court, intercepted by Cannon. Cannon down court for Osborne, and the Cardinals now playing a much better floor game. Much more aggressive on the defense. Jump shot from out on the right side is no good. The rebound is by Phillips. Smith, a jump shot from out on the left is no good. The rebound is by Bracewell of South Cobb, rather by Don Wicks. Wicks across now to Brewer. Ball game tied at 25-25. And the stall is on by South Cobb. They're content to stall with a tie, which is a very interesting thing to watch. At the top of the circle, Don Wicks. Wicks holds the ball and then hands off to Dodgen. Dodgen at the top of the circle. Continues the stall. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. I think South Cobb would be contented to play it out for 4 quarters and go for one final shot. Don Wicks under the basket. Easy layup is good. 27-25. That's 15 points for Wicks. High man on the floor. Nordholz at the top of the circle for Osborne. To Van Ness, out in the right corner. To Phillips. Jumper by Phillips is good from the right corner for Osborne, and it's 27-27. 4.5 minutes to go. Dodgen takes the ball down court for South Cobb. Stops. Feeds back to Brewer. Brewer holds the ball high over his head. Now starts to drive for the basket. Jump shot from the line is good. 29-27. And the Eagles are having no trouble finding the basket. Shooting very well, taking good shots. Pass intercepted. But do we have a kicking call there? As on the interception, Waters almost got him, but kicked it. So the ball goes out of bounds. Dale Cannon takes the throw in. Jump shot from the top of the circle for Osborne, no good. Rebound fought for, and South Cobb comes down with it as Frank Waters has it. Fast break. Driving for the basket. Feed off on the right side. Layup shot is no good. Tip in is no good. Tip in is no good. Follow shot is good by Don Wicks. And Wicks has 17 points. 31-27. South Cobb by 4 now. Osborne with the ball. Out in the right corner. Wide open. Jump shot is good by Fred Smith. 31-29. 3:35 to go in the third quarter. South Cobb with the ball now. Frank Waters out on the left side. Waters to the top of the circle. Continues to dribble. South Cobb with what they want, the lead in the ball. We're in the third quarter with 3:20 to go as the Eagles continue to stall it out. Waters on the right side to Dodgen. Dodgen to the top of the circle. Continues to dribble. Dodgen takes a drive, stops. Continues to dribble at the top of the circle. Dodgen, a very cagey man. Fakes very nicely. Dale Cannon guarding him. Now Dodgen drives around to the right side. Cannon follows him on Osborne's man-for-man defense. Now picked up by Fred Smith. Cut off to Mike Bracewell. And Bracewell just holds the ball over his head. Feeds off to Waters. Frank Waters dribbles around at the top of the circle. And they continue to work the stall. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. 31-29. At the top of the circle, Frank Waters. Waters starts to drive for the basket. Screens. Feeds off to Dodgen. Dodgen comes around to the top of the circle. Continues to dribble. As far as the crowd goes, this is not a thrilling basketball game to watch. It is an interesting one. That would be the adjective we would have to use tonight. Dodgen comes around to the top of the circle. Continues to dribble. There's not a lot of action, a lot of give and go. And finally we have a tie-up call by the official for holding the ball on South Cobb. We must check the rule book on this. It was our impression that so long as the ball was being dribbled, there was no stall. The tip is controlled by Nordholz of Osborne. Out on the right side, he goes to Phillips. Jumper by Phillips is around and no good. The rebound is by South Cobb. Ball taken down court by Dodgen. Through the pack. Feeds off on the left side to Waters. Waters, a jumper from the lane, is no good. Rebound results in a foul. This one is on Fred Smith. Smith has a 13.7 average. He's the senior. That's 3 fouls on him. David Phillips has 3 fouls for Osborne. 1:52 to go in this third quarter. Shooting 2 now. The first is good. 32-29. The second is good, and it's 33-29. Last night, Waters had 8 of 9 free throws. And he just picked up a couple more. 33-29. Cannon's pass out of bounds. Intended for David Phillips in the left corner for Osborne. Pass out of bounds. Ball taken down court by South Cobb. Waters feeds out on the left side to Brewer. Jumper from way out on the left is good, and it's 35-29, and South Cobb leads by 6. Shot from out on the right side is good by Fred Smith as he comes down court quickly, stops and shoots from the right corner. 35-31. South Cobb's ball. Osborne beginning to press a little more now. Brewer feeds off to Bracewell. Bracewell calls the play at the top of the circle. Holds the ball. Feeds off to Dodgen. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Dodgen loses the ball. We have a tie-up and a jump ball as Phillips went for the steal, and he and Don Wicks tied up trying to get the ball. So we'll have a jump ball under the South Cobb basket. This one's going right down to the final buzzer, I believe. 35-31. South Cobb leads by 4. The tip is controlled by Osborne. Cannon gets it, brings it down court for the Cardinals. across the timeline to the top of the circle. Feeds off on the left side. Jump shot from out there by Nordholz is off the rim. No good. The rebound by South Cobb. The fast break. 3-on-2. At the top of the circle. Jumper by Waters is good. A beauty. And Waters, with his 20-point average per ball game, is living up to all expectations tonight, 37-31. He had 8 of 9 free throws last night, and he has a wonderful string going tonight. 36 seconds to go in the quarter. Jump shot from out of the right side is good by Osborne's Cannon. Ball brought down court by South Cobb. They'll be playing for one more shot in this third quarter, I believe. Ball being dribbled very deliberately by Dodgen. Dodgen fakes a drive for the basket. Screens and passes back to Bracewell. Bracewell back at the top of the circle to Frank Waters. Waters to the top of the circle with 10 seconds to go. South Cobb leads. Now fed to Wicks. Then out in the left corner. Jump shot from out there is good by Roger Dodgen. Rather by Ken Brewer as the quarter comes to a close. And that's the end of 3 quarters of play here at the Coliseum. And the score now is South Cobb 39, Osborne 33. These interesting statistics as timeout continues between quarters. Wicks has 17 points for South Cobb so far. Waters close behind with 12. On foul shots, Waters has not missed a one. He's 6 for 6. Wicks is 3 for 6. Bracewell 2 for 2. Very good foul shooting. That looks like 9 to 11 of 13. For Osborne, Nordholz has 3 for 3. He has a perfect night going for Osborne. The buzzer sounds the start for quarter number 4. 39-33, South Cobb leads. The Eagles come back on the court to a tremendous roar of applause from their fans. The Osborne boys are out there waiting, and we're going to see a tremendous finish to this ball game. Bracewell will be jumping at center court against Phillips. The tip is controlled by South Cobb. And rolled out of bounds off the foot of Frank Waters. He had the ball and let it get away. It'll be Osborne's ball. Ball brought down court by Dale Cannon out on the right side. Stops. To Van Ness and back to Cannon. Cannon to the top of the circle. Guarded his call for traveling. Ball out of bounds for South Cobb. Dick, we should keep an eye on the floor mistakes being made by Osborne. Full court press by the Cardinals. Cross court pass in safely. And across the timeline to Brewer. Brewer out on the left side. As Osborne has begun to press on defense more and more. To Wicks and back to Brewer. Brewer comes around to the top of the circle. Passes off to Dodgen. Dodgen at the top of the circle. Takes the drive. Being guarded very closely by Cannon. Now 2 men on him. Smith also on him. He feeds across court to Brewer. Brewer comes around to the right of the lane. 2 men on him. 2 men follow the ball. The top of the circle, Mike Bracewell. Bracewell picked up by 2. Feeds back across to Waters. Waters at the top of the circle to Brewer. Brewer drives. Tries to feed under the basket. Pass intercepted by Dale Cannon. 1-on-1. Jump shot from the lane is good. As Cannon scores. 39-35. South Cobb by 4. 6:50 to go in the ball game. Frank Waters with the ball for the Eagles as they come back down court. Waters at the top of the circle. South Cobb has held the ball throughout most of the ball game. Osborne has had few chances and little time to dribble the ball around. Pass in the lane, almost lost by Bracewell. He picks it up. He's back to Brewer. Brewer is fouled as Nordholz tries for a steal. So Ken Brewer will go to the free throw line for South Cobb. This will explain, of course, why we are talking so much about South Cobb in the ball game. They are holding the ball. And Osborne really has had little choice but to try to defend. Brewer shooting 1. Here's his free throw, and it's good. 40-35. Ball brought down court by Dale Cannon for Osborne at the top of the circle. Cannon feeds over on the right side to Smith. A jumper by Smith is good. A beauty from 15 feet away, and it's 40-37. Full court press by Osborne. Ball being brought down court by Waters to the right of the lane. Jump shot from there is good. The basket will not count as we have a foul on the court. David Phillips or Fred Smith? It's Fred Smith calling the foul, and that's 4 on Smith. And at the free throw line will be Wicks. He went to the floor on that one. Timeout is signaled by South Cobb. So there's timeout on the court, 6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the ball game. The score is South Cobb 40, Osborne 37. Well, as Charlie Roberts mentioned when he was talking to Jimmy Bridges at halftime, Osborne trailed by 19 points in the region tournament and came back to win in the last second. So I certainly would not want to count the Osborne Cardinals out of this ball game. It's anybody's ball game, right, Dick?
Jim, that's the understatement of the year, and that 6 minutes looks like 6 hours up there to both coaches. And this ball game is going to be just like the other South Cobb Osborne games, a real cliffhanger, and I mean that, right down to the final second.
At the free throw line, Wicks shooting. His free throw is around and off, no good. Tipped around and rebounded by Smith for Osborne. Van Ness brings the ball down court, passes quickly to Cannon. Cannon at the top of the circle, jump shot from the line is no good. We have a foul on the play. Is it an offensive foul? No, it's a foul on Brewer of South Cobb. So at the free throw line will be Dale Cannon. He was fouled in the act of shooting. He will be shooting 2.
Jim, to show you how rough the action is, the referee blew the whistle and 3 South Cobb boys raised their hands.
The first free throw is good. It's 40-38, and it's tightening up now. And this, of course, is what Osborne fans are hoping for. The second free throw, no good. The tip-in is good. David Phillips hits on the tip-in, and I should think this was intended. 41-40, Osborne goes ahead by 1, and we have an offensive foul called on Ken Brewer of South Cobb. Ball out of bounds for Osborne. So now the Cardinals have things going their way. The foul, rather, is on Don Wicks of South Cobb. The Cardinals have things going their way now. Dale Cannon to the top of the circle. He's off on the right side to Smith and back to Cannon. Now will they play the delaying game? Fred Smith. Back on the left side it goes. Jump shot from out there is no good by Don Wicks. Rebound by South Cobb's Dodgen. Taking the ball down court very quickly. South Cobb trailing by 1 now, 41-40 with 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Dodgen holds the ball. Beats to Bracewell. To Waters. And we have a foul on the court as Cannon goes for the steal. And on Cannon, that should be 4 fouls, I believe. At the free throw line. That's only 2, rather, on Cannon. Frank Waters will be at the free throw line. He'll be shooting 1. First is good. And the ball game is tied up at 41-41. The scoreboard shows it now 41-40, South Cobb by 1. Steal of the ball. Waters takes it down court. Layup shot is good. No good, as Dale Cannon fouled him first. Frank Waters will go to the free throw line again as he made the steal and drove and was fouled. We had a mix-up on the scoring a moment ago. The scoreboard was showing Osborne out front 41-40. That has now been reversed, and South Cobb leads 41-40, and that is accurate. Waters at the free throw line to shoot the 1-1. The first is good. Now it's 42-40. South Cobb by 2. The bonus free throw coming up, and this is a big one. It's good. Waters hits. He's 9 for 9. Perfect night at the free throw line for Frank Waters. Ball brought down court by the Cardinals. Out in the right corner. Smith cannot shoot. Feeds out to Nordholz. Nordholz back on the right side to Smith. Smith looks for the play. Beats to Nordholz at the top of the circle. Nordholz across court to Cannon. Jump shot by Cannon from the left corner is around and through. 43-42. Ball taken down court by Roger Dodgen for South Cobb. Dodgen passes across court to Waters. Waters guarded very closely. Feeds back to Brewer. Brewer to the top of the circle and holds the ball. Dribbles to the left side. Now, Brewer still looking for somebody to pass to. Gets a screen and comes around to the top of the circle. And the stall is on by South Cobb still. They lead by 1, 43-42. At the top of the circle, Dodgen takes a shot. Feeds back instead to Waters. And Frank Waters at the free throw line in the lane. Jump shot is in and out. No good. The rebound is by Nordholz. Fast break is on by Osborne. Jump shot by Nordholz is no good. Tippin is good by Nordholz. 44-43, and there's a foul on the play on South Cobb's Frank Waters. At the free throw line will be Mike Nordholz. Osborne leads by 1, 44-43, 3:55 to go. Nordholz will be shooting 1. He has 15 points so far. Here's his free throw, and it's no good. The tip-in is no good. Ball tipped around and rebounded by South Cobb. taken down court very quickly by Frank Waters. Waters drives for a layup shot. No good, and we have an offensive foul on the court call on Ken Brewer. Ball out of bounds for the Cardinals. Ball out of bounds for Osborne. The Cardinals now have the upper hand, leading by 1, 44-43. They can play their brand of ball. With the ball is Fred Smith out on the right boundary line. Gets a screen, takes a long one-hander that's good. 46-43, and the Cardinals have come alive. 3:30 to go in the ball game. Ken Brewer down court. Brewer out to the left boundary line. Feeds back out to Frank Waters. Long one-hander by Waters is no good. Tip in is no good. Rebound fought for, and a tie-up and jump ball under the South Cobb basket. Mike Bracewell fighting for the rebound will be jumping with Fred Smith in there scrapping. And timeout is being signaled by South Cobb. There's timeout on the court with 3:19 to go in the ball game, and things have changed at the Coliseum. The score now, Osborne 46, South Cobb 43. Well, here at the Coliseum, Dick Yarber, the Cardinals can go now. They have the lead.
Jim, a comment I made to you, I believe, in one of the earlier games is everybody at Osborne gets rattled when Osborne is behind, except the boys out on the floor, and they never give up. And this is a good testimony to them. They're 3 points ahead with 3:19 left to go.
Jump ball, tip controlled by Osborne. Brought down toward Bernardo. Snowbird. Layup shot is good by Dale Cannon, and they lead by 5. 48-43. 3 minutes to go. South Cobb takes the ball down court. Waters out to the left of the lane. Can't shoot. Screens. Feeds back to Bracewell in the left corner. Bracewell to Wicks. To Bracewell. To Waters out on the left side. Waters now. Jumper from out on the right is no good. Off. Rebound is fought for and contained by nobody. Out of bounds on South Cobb. It'll be Osborne's ball as Wicks got it and stepped out. Cardinals throw it in. Full court press by the Eagles. Ball brought down court by Dale Cannon. 2:44 to go in the ball game. Cannon drives in for an easy layup that's no good. There's a foul on the play. Walking foul called on Mike Bracewell. And Dale Cannon on the shot will go to the free throw line. 48-43. And timeout again is signaled by South Cobb. So there's timeout on the court. The clock shows 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go, and the score is Osborne 48, South Cobb 43. Well, here at the Coliseum, I haven't seen a soul head for an exit. I think they'll be standing around for about 10 minutes after it's over. Shooting the 1-and-1 now, Dale Cannon. First is good. It's 49-43. Osborne leads by 6. Cannon with a big bonus free throw. This one he misses. The rebound is by Nordholz. Van Ness with the ball to Nordholz. Nordholz feeds across to Cannon. Under the basket. Easy layup shot by Phillips is no good. The rebound is by South Cobb's Frank Waters. Snowbird, pass down court. Driving, layup shot is no good. Tip in is no good. Rebound is by Dodgen. Back out to Ken Brewer. Long jumper by Brewer is good from out of the right side, and it's 49-45. 2:13 to go in the ball game. Full court press by South Cobb. Long pass down court to Cannon. Under the basket. Jump by Van Ness is no good. Tip in is no good. Tip in is no good. Rebound results in traveling. Or is it a foul on David Phillips? It's a foul on Phillips. So to the opposite end of the court, and that's 4 fouls on Phillips. To the opposite end of the court we go for a free throw by Brewer. Let's see now. He'll be shooting the 1-and-1, I believe. If he gets the first, he'll get a bonus, and these are 2 big ones. Here's the first. It's good. 49-46. South Cobb comes battling back after trailing by 6. Both teams playing very coolly. The second free throw is good. 49-47. That one rolled around a long time. Ball brought down court by the Cardinals. They have a 2-point lead. They have the ball with 1:55 to go. Cannon in the lane. Jump shot is off the rim. No good. Tippin is no good. South Cobb gets the rebound. Ball taken by Wicks to Bracewell to take it down court. Bracewell off on the right side to Waters. 1.5 minutes to go. South Cobb can tie it up now. Waters' jump shot is no good. There's a foul on the play. That's 5 fouls on David Phillips. He's out of the ball game for Osborne. And now at the free throw line, it all rides on Frank Waters. He can tie it up. Waters can tie it up at the free throw line for South Cobb. He's 9 for 9 so far. And timeout signaled by Osborne. So there's timeout on the court. 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining in the ball game. And the score is Osborne 49, South Cobb 47. Well, David Phillips, who just retired from the ball game on 5 fouls, goes out with 6 points, well below his 15.2 average. Phillips is a junior. He'll be back next year and will be a big cog in the machine of Coach Padgett at Osborne. At the free throw line now, Frank Waters has Whiting with him the opportunity to tie the ball game for South Cobb. He's 9 for 9 at the line, a perfect night so far. And that perfection is vital for South Cobb's chances now. The first free throw is good. 49-48. The bonus free throw by Frank Waters. It's good, and the ball game is tied up. Full court press by South Cobb. Cardinals work the ball in. Marshbanks is coming to the ball game for Phillips, who was out on fouls. Marshbanks passes out on the right side to Smith. Back to the top of the circle to Cannon. Cannon dribbles around. Feeds back off to Smith. They may be playing for one final shot. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. Cannon out on the left side. They will play for one more shot. Out on the right side, Smith holds the ball. And now the stall is on by Osborne. A very big opportunity for Osborne to come up with a victory in the last seconds. Less than a minute to go now. 55 seconds. It's all knotted at 49-49. Of course, should Osborne take that last shot and miss, then we'll have an overtime. At the top of the circle, Smith dribbles way out. 44 seconds to go in the ball game. 49-49. South Cobb and Osborne fighting for the state championship. Osborne playing for one final shot. Cannon starts to drive. Jump shot from the lane is no good. Rebound by South Cobb, and we have a foul on the play. The foul is on Ken Brewer. The foul is on Brewer of South Cobb. And Dale Cannon will be at the line. He'll be shooting 2. Dale Cannon, the man who won the region championship for the Cardinals in the last second, at the line to shoot 2. The first is good. It's 50-49. Osborne by 1. The second free throw is no good. The rebound is by South Cobb. Ball taken down court quickly by the Eagles. 25 seconds to go. They'll have to take one last one to win it. Waters' shot is up and no good. Rebound, fourth floor. Rolled around on the floor, a jump ball. Clock stops with 21 seconds to go. Jump ball under the South Cobb basket. One of the Cardinals a little slow getting up. It's Van Ness, who's played a tremendous ball game for Osborne. Mike Bracewell will be jumping against Van Ness. Don't anybody go anywhere. This one's going down to the final buzzer. The tip is controlled by Osborne, and there's a foul on the play. Ken Brewer called on the foul. Johnny Marshbanks will go to the free throw line for Osborne. The Cardinals lead by 1, 50-49, after trailing throughout most of the ball game. This is the 1-1 now. And Marshbanks can put the icing on the cake for the Cardinals, or he can lose it for them right here. The first free throw is good. 51-49. Marshbanks getting encouragement from Nordholz, from Smith, from all the Cardinals to make this shot. The bonus free throw is good. 52-49. 19 seconds to go. South Cobb will have to hurry. The top of the circle. Waters a long one. Andrews no good. Rebound tipped around. The Cardinals have it. This could be the ball game. 10 seconds to go. Smith out of the left boundary line. Fouled, and will go to the free throw line. 6 seconds to go. The foul is on Brewer. That's 5 fouls on him. He goes out of the ball game. Brewer moves out with a great roar of approval from the crowd, getting a great ovation from the South Cobb fans. Brewer had 13 points for the evening. He averages 17.7. 6 seconds to go. 6 seconds to go in the ball game. And Cannon will be at the free throw line for the Osborne Cardinals. Wilbanks comes in as Brewer goes out for South Cobb. 52-49. The Cardinals appear to have it won. They lead by 3 with 6 seconds to go. Here's the 1-1. The first is good. 53-49. And now some of the fans are beginning to move toward the exit. The bonus free throw coming up by Cannon. It's good. 54-49. Not much time. There'll be very little guarding by Osborne. Final shot taken by South Cobb is no good as the ball game comes to a close. Well, that's all there is. The ball game is over. The championship belongs to Cobb County, to Osborne High School, 54-49 victory over South Cobb, and we'll have final comments in 1 minute. Now back here at the Coliseum, Osborne has just won a great victory. Jimmy Bridges is standing by down below with Osborne coach J.L. Padgett. Jimmy, it's all yours.
Congratulations, Coach Padgett. It's a wonderful game. Thank you very much, sir. Well, did you ever think of any doubt about the outcome of it? Well, I tell you, that South Cobb's got a real good ball club, and it could have been anybody's game. But I want to say this. I think my boys deserve a lot of credit. They really played an uphill battle all the whole tournament.
They were down all the way, 6 points down at the half, I believe. They came right on back like they always have.
That's right. They're a real pressure ball club. I'm real proud of them. The tallest boy we started is 6'3", and we're playing against 6'7" boys tonight.
Well, I know you want to get over to the boys here. We're about ready for the presentations here, but I just want to say again, congratulations to you and all those Cardinals.
Thank you very much.
Coach J.L. Padgett, Jim.
Okay, Jimmy Bridges, and we add our congratulations to Coach Padgett and to Coach Dubose for a brilliantly played ball game. We certainly have enjoyed it. 54-49. We're going to have the trophy presentations from the floor. And we'll switch now to the floor for those presentations.
This has been a very fine AAA tournament. We've set records all the way around for exciting ball games, and in attendance, the attendance is the greatest that we've had in AAA tournaments. I don't know what we're going to do if we can have this kind of brand of basketball. I don't know what we're going to do to seat the people. It's really exciting to have this kind of ball game. Would the Avondale team please come forward? You have a very fine team. Coach, would you come forward? You have a very, very fine team, Coach, that did a wonderful job. Congratulations, sir.
Mr. Charles Cates of the Georgia High School Association is
Coach
making
Frank,
the trophy
would you bring your
presentation.
group forward? Coach, you have a very fine ball club. They did a wonderful job, and congratulations to all of you.
Presentation to Coach Franks of Cross Keys High School. Now comes the second place presentation.
Coach DuBois, would you and the boys from South Cobb please come forward? Coach, you have a very, very fine ball club. We're all proud of you. You did a wonderful job. Thank you. I wonder if you have a comment you'd like to make.
Well, we're real proud of our boys. They worked hard, and I'm proud of them. This gym makes me think of when I was a kid, we used to kill rats in an old barn. Now, might be some rats here, but I don't want to kill them. I love every one of them. And anybody can beat us 5 times in 1 year. They deserve everything they get and then some more, because they got God on their side. Coach Padgett's about 5 times older than I am, so he's 5 times better.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Padgett, will you bring the Osborne boys forward, please? Coach Padgett, You're a mighty short man in stature tonight, but you're a big, big, big. Congratulations to you and the Osborne team.
Now we're having a round of posing for pictures with Coach Paget and all the Osborne Cardinals holding on to that big, beautiful golden trophy being presented by Mr. Cates of the Georgia High School Association to the Osborne Cardinals and to Coach
Paget, do you have a comment you'd like to make?
To say that I am very proud of our boys. I think they did a tremendous job. The tallest boy that we started is about 6'3", and when you battle against 6'7" boys, you have to really have guts and desire, and this team really did it. I would also like to say that South Cobb is a mighty fine ball club. They are a great club. Thank you very much.
Good basketballs for your state champions, Coach, and congratulations, sir.
And there you have it, the presentation of trophies from the floor by Mr. Cates to all of the teams participating in the semifinals and the final round tonight.
Roberts, prep editor of the Atlanta Constitution.
Now, Charlie Roberts is being introduced to the crowd for the presentation of the most valuable player. Charlie is getting not exactly an ovation from the crowd.
One. I don't know whether this is good or bad, but I know I'm well read. That makes me feel good. I would like to tell you that this tournament's been the most successful we ever had. We broke all tournament attendance records, almost 30,000 people. We've had three crowds over 6,000, which is the second, third, and fourth largest crowds to ever come into this tournament. We had also the largest opening night crowd, and a year ago, we said that picking the all-star team was a very, very easy chore. It was the same the season before, but this time, I believe because of the good balance of the two finalists here tonight, the Osborne team in South Cobb, and also Cross Keys and Avondale. All the writers and sportscasters and people who've seen every game here had the most difficult time in tournament history of picking this team. And we mixed them all up on purpose just anyway, and so I'm going to, if the boys' names who are called will come, we have a medallion for each one of these boys who were selected to the all-tournament team.
Now Charlie Roberts will introduce the all-tournament team and then the most valuable player as selected by the sports writers here at the Coliseum.
First boy, David Phillips of Osborne. David has another year to go here, played a tremendous tournament. His brother Brian played for this team for a couple of years when they had other great teams. Congratulations, David. Wonderful job.
Waiting now for
Frank Waters, South Cobb.
Frank Waters coming over.
This young man, one of the best all-around players we've ever seen in this tournament. Tremendous job, Frank. Congratulations. Next, the man who led this tournament in scoring this year, Cecil Clifton of Avondale.
Cecil Clifton, of course, is not in his playing uniform. Comes out in nice blazer.
Cecil is one of the very great playmakers we've had around here, and if I'm not mistaken, he's going to continue his career in the Southeastern Conference, so maybe you'll get to see him some more later. Congratulations, Cecil. Wonderful job. Cecil scored 85 points in the 4 games. That's not too far from the tournament record. Next, the fella who twice for the last 2 years led his team in scoring, Lee Hall, Cross Keys. Congratulations, Lee. Played a wonderful tournament. Turn around. Played a very fine tournament, Lee. Wonderful.
Next, a boy who is everybody's favorite, and another very, very great playmaker, Mike Nordholz of Osborne. Congratulations, Mike. And one thing I'd like to say about this boy, he must be the greatest one-legged player of all times. He's been on one leg the whole time. Another from Osborne, Don Wicks. Claim him. You want to claim him? I'm sorry, South Cobb. Congratulations. Got you mixed up, but I know you don't mind being mixed up with the champion. Wonderful tournament. Another from Osborne now, really. Dale Cannon. One thing we can say for Dale, we didn't hear a whole lot about him before the tournament, but he was the real clutch player in 2 or 3 tournament games this week and last. Tremendous job. And another boy who really got back on the beam in this tournament and tore those nets up, Dick Waters, Cross Keys. Man with a great jump shot, and I believe Dick made this team last year. Congratulations, wonderful job. Next, Chip King, Avondale. Chip, come on out. This is a boy that J.E. Rowe played on the toughest man. I believe he led the rebounders, and he got an awful lot of clutch baskets. Congratulations, Chip. You did a wonderful job. And a boy who is not here, I believe, who was one of the finest players in Georgia for the last 2 years, from Jenkins High School in Savannah, Gary Elliott, who hit 35 points and impressed everybody with his play here before they were beaten in that second tough game. And now I'll turn this microphone over to Jesse Adler, sports head of the Constitution, and he will present the Most Valuable Player Award.
I'd like to add congratulations to champion Osborne, runner-up South Cobb, and the other teams that played in this tournament this year. Picking one player from a field of more than 100 players poses quite a prodigious chore. But this year, a gentleman who played a great defensive game, scored 68 points despite an injured ankle, led Osborne to the championship. Mike Nordholz.
Right now down on the court, Mike Nordholz is receiving the trophy and posing for pictures with Jesse Outlaw, who has just presented the Most Valuable Player trophy to him. And this will continue for a few moments as the other members of the all-tournament team stand by and look on proudly.
Thank you very much. That concludes the ceremonies. We hope to see you back next year.
Well, there you have it, the ceremonies from the floor of the Coliseum. As we had the all-tournament team presented the trophies to the various teams, and the Most Valuable Player trophy to a boy who certainly worked hard and deserved it, Mike Nordholz. Dick Yarber, you have the final statistics and the scoring.
Right, Jim, we'll run over it quickly because it's all over now. That's not quite as important as the outcome of this ball game.
Right.
First, for the state AAA champions, the Osborne Cardinals, it went like this. The big man, the most valuable player in this tournament, Mike Nordholz, had 15 points on 6 field goals and 3 free throws. Dale Cannon had 13 big clutch points on 5 field goals and 3 free throws. Jim Van Ass had 6 points on 3 field goals. Fred Smith had 12 points, 5 field goals and 2 free throws. And David Phillips, who played a very rugged game under the boards, had 3 field goals before fouling out late in the ball game for Osborne's 54. For South Cobb, the scoring was almost even. Frank Waters had 17 points on 3 field goals and 11 for 11 free throws, believe it or not. Don Wicks had 17 points and played probably the greatest game of his career out here tonight. 7 field goals, 3 free throws, and thousands of rebounds. Ken Brewer had 13 points. He too fouled out late in the ball game. He had 5 field goals and 3 free throws. And Mike Bracewell had 2 points on 2 free throws to give South Cobb 49 points. Jim, to review briefly, if we made this all-star team, it was Dave Phillips of Osborne, Frank Waters of South Cobb, Cecil Clifton of Avondale, Lee Hall of Cross Keys, Mike Nordholz of Osborne, the most valuable player in this tournament, Dale Cannon of Osborne, Don Wicks of South Cobb, Dick Waters of Cross Keys, Chip King of Avondale, and Gary Elliott of Jenkins. And let me say, in wrapping this thing up very quickly, that I must agree with Coach Dubose that when they whip you 5 times in 1 year, they deserve to be the champions. And there were really 2 champions out there tonight. I mean it. This South Cobb team played its heart out, but Osborne reminded me of that great racehorse of a few years ago, Silky Sullivan, who couldn't win unless he was way behind and came on in the stretch. And Osborne, for 4 straight games, had to come from behind to win. So there can be no doubt that who was the best team in this tournament. The Osborne Cardinals, and our congratulations go to them and to the South Cobb Eagles and to Cobb County. Cobb County was really the winner out here tonight in this AAA tournament, and it's been a pleasure working with you on this tournament, Jim.
Thank you, Dick Albert. I wonder, Jimmy Bridges, if you have any final comments before we sign off from the Coliseum.
Jim, I think you good fellows have said everything there is to be said. It was a great show, and it was a lot of fun here doing it. And we hope the folks out there listening on WBIE-FM had as much fun hearing it as we did watching it, Jim.
Right, Jimmy. The treat really was all ours, I'm sure. From the Coliseum, then, speaking on behalf of Dick Yarborough, Jimmy Bridges, this is Jim Wesley saying thanks for listening and good night.